Okay, we're on number 16. We have point A, which is -4, 1. So let's graph that point. Now, they gave us the fact that it's an XY coordinate plane. They have the coordinates of A, which is -4, 1, and B, we need to figure that out. But that the line x equals 2 is the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. So if you look right here, this right there is segment AB, and x equals 2 is a perpendicular bisector. So what we need to do is to figure out what is the B, what's the x, and what's the y. So I come and I look at this graph. So I'm looking here at this graph, and what I need to do is to graph this point, x, -4 and 1. So I count on the x-axis. You're always on the x-axis. You always walk across the ground before you can go up or down. So I come to the x-axis and I start -1, -2, -3, -4. And then I go up to 1 because that's the point we want. And I put a dot right here. Okay? Now, I'm going to graph x equals 2. So this is what I'll do. I'll count over, on the x-axis, I count over 1, 2, and then I put a line. Okay, so that's the line. It's a vertical line because where everywhere on that line, a vertical line, x is equal to 2. So I want you to recall it says it is a bisector. So if it's a perpendicular bisector, it cuts the line in two. So the line will be going across where y is 1. It's going to be a horizontal line. And I'm going to come across, and how many away? I'm going to count. I count 1, 2, 3, 4. This is x equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 that way. So if I count 6 the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I need to put a dot right up here. That's what cut that line in half. So I do this, and I put, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that dot will be right here. And I draw my line across here. And it should cut this in half. And it does, because I got 6 on this side and 6 on the other. So the question is, what is this point? So let's start. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to put 8 as my x. And I go up 1. And then the ordered pair is 8, 1. So now I'm going to look and see, do I see that on my list? And I do, and it is letter E. Now, that's one way to do it. And there's another way to use a formula. And if you understand this way, do it this way. And if you wanted to know what the formula was, then I'll show you that when I talk to you. So my answer up here should be 8, 1. And the formula, just so you know, the formula is x sub 1 plus x sub 2. That's how you read those at the bottom. Over 2, comma, y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. So if you're getting a bisector, the midpoint of a line, that's what the bisector does. These are the ordered pair. So this is x sub 1, y sub 1. And this is x sub 2, and y sub 2. So we could substitute into this equation what we know, and then by calculating it out, figure out what the answer is. We know x sub 1 and y sub 1. So that would be like -4. I'm just showing you what it looks like in case you wanted to do it this way. Plus x sub 2. And then divided by 2. And the other one you know is y is 1 plus y sub 2 divided by 2. And you also know the midpoint, because the midpoint is right here. This is the midpoint. So if I take the midpoint and do this, that's the point 2, 1. So if I substitute in place up here, if I said this thing right here equals the x, which is 2, and this thing right here equals the y, which is 1. So that'll be a good task for you to do, is set them equal and solve for the x sub 1, the x sub 2, and solve for the y sub 2 using the things that you know about solving equations. There you have it. Bye-bye.